Good evening, everybody. Reporting live from the virtual battlefield of World of Tanks. This is Kirill Soviet Bondar and Ed Barum Leonard.
Hello, everybody.
It all started about 2.5 weeks ago. We asked for permission to livecast a tournament, a Battle of Berlin challenge. North American Office of Wargaming gave us the green light, and look how it all turned out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's been a long road here.
This challenge, we saw the qualifier round, we saw the various playoff rounds, we've seen all types of different play style, and it all culminated to this moment, the finals between Team Fusion and Wreak Havok. Let's quickly go through the rules here. It's best out of five, right? First to three wins. First to three wins. Five versus five. No tier point limit. And the map is Runeberg. Taking a look at the map, we have kind of a mixed terrain, right, Bar?
Yes, sir. And as we've seen, you and I have been doing this what seems like months now, but only really it's been a couple weeks here. But we've seen this map again. As we've talked about, we've got these lanes of attack here: the yellow, the green, the red. Lines of attack, and we've got the city push, we've got the 5-6 line push, and of course we've got the Delta Village push, which we're very fortunate to see the last cast here, Wreak Havok versus Simp. We saw a lot of action in this Delta Village. Really happy with that because what we had seen earlier on was a lot of camping up in this city area here and a lot of brawls happening. So it was nice, a little bit refreshing to see the whole map get used here.
Yeah, Wreak Havok and Simp matches, of course, happened on Tuesday. Very exciting, very fast matches. I was expecting much longer games. It all ended in 4 games, and no camping, no passive play at all from both sides. Great focus fire by Havok, great teamwork by them. It resulted in them advancing to the finals, where we see them today. So as we mentioned, we're in the final stages here. The bracket looks like so. Team Fusion with versus Wreak Havok for the first place and second place, but also Hammer Time and Simp are going for the third place battle, third and fourth. So
Big money on the line here, Soviet. First place again, 26,000 gold. Second place, 14,000 gold. That will either go to Wreak Havok or Team Fusion. And then, of course, the third and fourth place, 8,000 and 4,000. But as you alluded to earlier on our last cast, it's more about the bragging rights in first place. Nobody wants second place. Nobody wants third or fourth. Everybody wants the first place bragging rights. So I'm really excited.
yeah, and just to put it into perspective, so first place 26,000 gold. That's a little bit more than $100, right? So if we're to buy gold right now, and that's 8 team members. So if we're to put it in a money equivalent, that's $800 on the line.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's no joke. We saw the veterans tournament come around where they had some cash prizes. Well, this is kind of the cash equivalent with in-game currency, which is gold. For those that aren't familiar with gold or World of Tanks, if you're tuning in for the first time, gold can be used to buy lots of things in game. It's a in-game currency, basically.
And just a little over review here, guys. We did cast the various rounds of the tournament here on Fulcrum TV, and we have the various recordings of it available on our YouTube. So if you missed out on those, do check them out. But real quick overview, we did see a lot of teams that made a statement in this tournament. Some that stand out to me is Cossacks, a very competent team. Hammer Time playing for third place today also deserves a big shout out. Great teamwork, great job for them. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast them. Perhaps next time. They did beat out. I thought who was a favorite here. We're looking at the bracket. Pop Stars. They did beat them and advanced into a match for in the semifinals against Team Fusion. Team Fusion got the upper hand there, 3-0, and Wreak Havok beat Simp, which we casted on Tuesday. Any other upsets that you saw?
Um, Not really. I guess
Enjoy.
I guess River of Blood going out. Well, River of Blood going out too. Yeah, that Enjoy team. They were super aggressive. We had some. We got to see them play really well. Had some, big ideas for those guys that they were gonna, come through, but they were knocked out in the. Let's see, what is that? The 16 team, the eighth bracket there. They got knocked out by Team Fusion 3-0. And then, of course, River of Blood, the guys that have been around forever, got knocked out by the Pub Stars guys, who you just mentioned. And then Hammer Time went ahead and beat the Pub Stars guys, and then Team Fusion beat Hammer Time. So, it's crazy. I don't know. I guess there's been some upsets, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's neat to see a Wreak Havoc up top here because really they don't carry the ELO rating at all that you see some of the teams carry. So interesting. I think I don't know if it's an upset because I know Sarge on a personal level and I know the commitment that he has to this game and I know how hard he works at it. And, I guess I'm not surprised, but sort of surprised, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, well, fair enough. Let's quickly jump back into the map tactic. Talk about Wreak Havoc's playstyle. We saw, I believe, three T57s, E100, and a Bad Chat lineup from them on Tuesday, and they were aggressive. They usually stayed out in the city, making sure, taking control of that Delta village. We did see one push in the three line where they had a nice little shootout here in this intersection, but neither team nor not neither Simp nor Wreak Havoc pushed the fountain or those usually you know kind of campy positions, very defensive positions. Usually they weren't pushed, and it
Yeah, we
resulted
saw.
in very
Yeah,
exciting gameplay.
we saw both of those guys. Well, if you remember the first match with Wreak Havoc, they did kind of set up into the city a little bit. That was when you know how it is. Everybody sees it when everybody starts to feel each other out. What are you gonna do? Let's see what kind of their movements. And then we saw them kind of pull out and do something crazy and come up that three line and when you talked about it on the cast is Wreak Havoc. It seemed like every engagement tank for tank that they got into with Simp, they were coming out on top. So it was just a matter of. It seemed like whenever it was a matter of whoever got the drop, and it seemed like Havoc got the drop on Simp a lot more than Simp got on them. Like it just felt like Havoc knew where they were going. They made their shots, they made them count. And in this type of format, 5v5, a bounce, a pen no damage, a missed shot can cost you the game. I mean, as we saw, there was a couple moves there that cost some teams some matches.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it
Uh,
was exciting. A lot of tank on tank violence going on, certainly in that Delta Village. It was really cool to see. So both teams really aggressive. Wreak Havoc aggressive. I was impressed with that. I was glad to see that they took the fight to Simp and Simp took the fight to them and let the best team kind of duke it out and win.
A quick introduction to Wreak Havoc's lineup here. Two Gun Kid, call me Sarge, caller for that team, captain of that team. PPK 157, Tofu Smurf, already takes skill, Kazo, the one savior, and Unknown One. So good luck to those guys. Switching over to Team Fusion, why don't you run through their lineup, Bar?
Well, we've got 70 Chevelle, Conflict, Plated Mega FTW, Talid, Bach Rocker, Nemesis 79, Swollen, and TT Jones. And I believe Jones will be calling it tonight, as usual. He's been calling it all throughout this.
Awesome, awesome. So as I understood it, you wanted to do a bit of an interview with Team Fusion going into this and some sort of a special announcement, yeah?
Absolutely. So we can definitely get to that if you want to jump over to their team speak and let's talk with these guys and see where their mindset is going into this. It is a finals. There's nerves in place. There's big stuff on the line, and I hear they've got a big announcement that everybody. I've been alluding to everyone in the stream chat. So I'm gonna
Definitely.
let them know we're coming over and let's pop on in.
Okay.
Hello, Team Fusion, Mop 4. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. So, talk to us a little bit about what is in your mindset and how you guys prepare for these matches. I mean, this is a finals. This is, everything's on the line. This is bragging rights. This is, 26,000 gold. Um, So, I mean, talk us through that conflict. What do you think? What goes through your mind when you're getting ready for these matches coming up?
Well, as we've learned, it's best just to stay focused and stick with what works. Stick with, you're playing the basics and, small variations here and there maybe, but you just want to stick with what you know and make sure you get it right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, um, have you guys done any scouting on your opponent tonight? I know a lot of teams spend a lot of time doing some scouting to see how their gameplay is, and what you think if you could play to your strengths and their weaknesses. Talk to me about that.
We try not to do that because you kind of end up playing to beat what the other team did during that match when they may have just been reacting, so you're planning for nothing. So we caught a few minutes of the last stream after our match, but we try to just focus on what we're doing and hopefully it comes out all right.
Excellent. Jones, I assume you're running the battle tonight. Any changes to your? Well, I can't say that because obviously, why? We don't want to give away your strategies or anything. But is your mindset changed at all? I mean, you're just gonna, come up with your strat, play it, and let your guys, play it out.
Yep. We were just playing the map how we've always known how. I can't really go into depth about that for right now because who knows, half the guys might be listening.
I got you,
Uh,
man. I got you. I didn't want to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
it's okay. One thing we are doing right now is making sure all our mods work because, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah. As we
it
know, Wargaming just did roll out the patch for the 8.5. A lot of mods are either not working or kind of working. So a lot of these players use the mods to, sniper reticles and things like that for, reload timers and zoom mods and all that kind of stuff.
well, personally, I only use the reload timer, the white tank shells because um, when enemies are hiding behind tanks, sometimes you'll hit the very edge of like a blown up hatch. For example, the E5 is notorious
Right.
for having that.
I think Soviet had some questions for you guys.
Yeah, well, one main thing, guys, I had a question. Bar kind of already asked your mindset, but how do you guys deal with the pressure that's the final game here? Any personal like routines or something that you guys go through to kind of handle all of this?
Well, at about 2 minutes from the battle, we ready down, and when we ready up, we all know what's going to happen. So we're just going to play the game.
Generally, other than that, and there tends to be a 10 or 15 minutes of posting links to YouTube and Reddit and such.
No, now you mentioned you ready down. Can you explain what that is and why you do that, or?
To make sure the current players picked for the roster for the round are in fact present, and we're not scrambling if someone is AFK for the first minute of the game, because that can be some crucial positioning.
Absolutely. Bach, I hear you've got some exciting news to announce for Fusion slash Mop 4.
I certainly do, Bar. So,
Hit me with it, Bach.
all right, here it comes. So, as some of you guys know, recently we made an announcement that Team Fusion has taken on the MOP 4 community banner. MOP 4 is a community founded by World of Tank veterans. Some of these guys are some of the first NA Ural Steel champions from a few years ago. The community is directly involved with the Wounded Warrior Project, so that's a cause that they champion. Under the Mop 4 banner, the team is also very excited to announce that White Raven Gaming has sponsored the Mop 4 team. White Raven Gaming specializes in creating custom gaming rigs, peripherals, apparel, and providing world-class customer service. Also, interestingly enough, the owner of White Raven is a veteran himself, veteran of the armed forces, and is excited to see the success of the community and the team.
Cool. And I also hear that after tonight's matches, you guys are going to be doing something special for the community.
Absolutely. We want to welcome everybody after the feed of the tournament battles here, which we're looking forward to. We want to welcome everybody over to the MOP4 Twitch stream over at Twitch TV/mop4 underscore Watt, WOT. And we'll certainly have some fun stuff going on, some prizes, some gold codes, maybe some gear. I hear maybe there's some headsets and maybe some good computer stuff being handed out. So come on over, hang out, and watch the festivities.
Excellent, excellent. So, did you have anything else for these fine gentlemen before we go into more stuff, or?
Well, I think it's time to leave them be. We're down to 7 minutes here in the countdown. Let's switch it back to us, talk a little bit, and we'll be back, guys, listening in to the calls right after the countdown has started. So thanks a lot. Good luck, guys, and yeah,
Good
win.
luck, gents.
Thanks, bros.
Thanks, guys.
Love.
Okay, so that was Team Fusion, now known as MOP4, MOPP4. Congrats to the guys. Big deal. Getting a sponsorship, getting on this MOP4. Explain just a little bit more, Bar. So MOP4 is an organization, while White Raven Gaming is the sponsor, correct?
Absolutely. So Mop 4, from my understanding and working with the guys over there, a lot of the Mop 4 guys you'll recognize from the old guard of AOD, Stone 19 Delta, Mr. Carruthers. They left the game for a while after Ural Steel. They got kind of burned out, went and did their own thing. A lot of those guys are ex-military. Stone Delta actually is a big part of the Wounded Warrior Project. He was himself blown up in a Humvee overseas, and he is a wounded veteran himself. There's another guy that was in AOD. I believe Holt was in AOD as well. So they decided, hey, look, we need to make a community for these guys that come home that are going through a bunch of drama, going through, real life issues. We want them to get away, escape from the day-to-day stuff that they got to deal with, to go into the VA hospital and whatever they got to do, step up and play some games together and have some fun to take their mind off of it. We got approached as Fusion Gaming Conflict. I was friends with these guys with AOD. I was in AOD myself too, so they knew me as well. So, what we did there is just kind of said, hey, how do you guys feel about wearing this banner, helping us out, promote the World, Wounded Warrior Project and this stuff? And I said, well, that'd be great. And then White Raven Gaming kind of stepped in and said, hey, on top of that, we'd like to sponsor you. We would like to help you guys out with tournaments. There's still some stuff, behind the scenes going on as far as shaking the hands and getting the thing complete on that, as far as what the sponsorship entitles. But right now it's, game gear and apparel and things like that through White Raven Gaming, I'm sorry. And that's basically how that happened. We got approached or they got approached and, kind of went from there. So feeling really good about helping out the Wounded Warrior Project, and having fun gaming. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? Having fun and winning. So hopefully it'll be a good, strong partnership for the future.
Yeah, congratulations to you guys. Look forward to this fight. What do you think the mindset is for, Team Fusion or Wreak Havok? Do you think they're going to be aggressive right off the gate? Do you think they're going to try and, catch somebody off guard, do something unusual? Or do you see these first matches gonna kind of going slower, kind of a feeling each other out sort of thing?
I see Fusion setting up as they always have in the first couple of matches. I see them kind of turtling up in the city, if they're on the south or the north, and then I see them maybe figuring out what Havok's going to do and try to play off that and push into them. But I think when it's this deep into the tournament, the finals, the pressure's on. I mean, they just got a sponsorship and they're watching. There's a little bit of added pressure there, especially being live casted too. I know a lot of the guys, Scorpion King, when we casted Enjoy, was saying I was really nervous about the stream and everything else. So, that's weighing on their minds as well. So I think we're going to see some cautious movements by both sides. Wreak Havok, I think you'll see them be cautious, feel them out. maybe not. Maybe they'll just say, hey, let's take it to these guys. Let's just take it, cram it down their throats, and we can hang with these guys. We've hung with everybody through this tournament, tank for tank, and we've imposed our will on everybody we face. So let's just take it to them. So I'm not sure. I think first couple matches will be pretty passive, and then I think you'll start to see them warm up and go at it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. We're down to 3 minutes. We'll switch over to the game client when it's under 2 minutes. Go through the lineup and prepare for this one. This one is going to be just a powder keg, I guess. No better way to describe it. Two teams going at it in the finals. Nothing can be better than this, except for another tournament, of course. Uh, Battle of Berlin challenge. Challenges happen once a month on the North American server, and they carry a lot of weight. Winning a challenge gives you great prizes, 26,000 gold this time around, and of course the bragging rights for the month until next challenge rolls around, or until a next big event. And lately in North America, we've been getting a lot of great events. Thanks a lot to the esport guys in North American office, and well, actually, thanks a lot to everybody at Wargaming. I can't state it enough. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here doing this and having the chance to do this, really. So thanks a lot, guys. But it's down to 2 minutes now. Let's go ahead and switch over to the game and go through their lineups.
Yeah, and it looks like they're already doing their ready down, ready up. So we kind of jumped in at a time where they were readying down. But what I saw was Jones on an E100, as we've seen throughout this tournament following these guys. We saw Plated Mega on a 57. We saw Talid on a 57. Conflict on a Bat Chat. Now, if you remember, throughout this tournament, he's been on a 62A. So there is a distinct lineup change for Fusion here. And then Bachrocker bringing up the rear with the 57 for Team Fusion Mob 4. So, and of course, in the waiting wings, we've got Nemesis 79, who also we've seen play his T57, and we've seen 70 Chevelle jump in there and be readied up to go too. I believe he's a medium driver, not quite sure though.
Okay, well, down to 55 seconds. I wonder if Wreak Havok is going to have any surprises for Team Fusion. We have seen Simp go very mobile before with I think all tier 10 mediums. That's a viable setup if used correctly. Also, we have seen some teams utilizing tank destroyers, not as effectively or not as successfully because they aren't here, but still. I can see that working sometimes in certain areas, in certain tactics. Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see that in 20 seconds. Of course, as always, we are on Team Fusion's TeamSpeak. We'll listen into their calls. TT Jones is the one that's going to be making the calls today. And 5 seconds. Let's get ready for this one.
Absolutely. Here we go, folks.
Okay, so Wreak Havok is bringing E100, 3 T57s, and a Bat Chat. Let's listen into what Team Fusion has to say about that.
See what we're doing. Don't be spooked by it.
Roger that.
Yeah, we just need to cut off its angles to where it's trapped and use conflict while he's somewhere else.
Alright, standard positions.
Correct. I've got Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Play it. I'll take the swing position.
Taking
Play
the
it
outside.
says. Alright.
So you heard it there, very relaxed atmosphere for Team Fusion, and they're going into the standard positions. This is the type of team play that you hear a lot of teams have. They know where to go by now. This is late in the tournament finals. Of course, everybody's on the same page, otherwise they wouldn't be here. Let's take a look. Team Fusion is taking up the defensive positions here on the one line with the T57s. Batchat already takes skill, is already lit for Havok. Bachrock controlling the 3 line. And meanwhile, Conflict is doing his usual run down the field. Actually, look at this. He's going all the way. Now that he knows that the Batchat already takes skill from Havok, is in the city, he's going deep.
Yeah, he is going deep, and he's got to be careful here because now you can bet that that bat chat's going to come out of there. If Conflict can get in a bush and set up and let that bat chat come out to him, he's going to wipe him. But here's where the problem, what could happen is Wreak Havoc could do what we saw them do against Simp and bring all their tanks that way when that bat chat goes that way, and Conflict will be toast. So it'll be interesting to see. Little comment on in the beginning when you heard Matt Damon, those guys are referring to the supply crates at the cap. They call it Matt Damon's house. I don't know why, but Matt Damon. So
Gotcha. Well, here we're looking at TT Jones, Bach Rocker controlling the 3 line, and we see Plated Mega and Talent are looking over the 1 line. Very good defensive position here in the city. Conflict, in the meanwhile, is in J9 in the bush, so he is trying to set up somewhat of a trap in case Artie takes skill from Havok in the bat chat, comes around scouting. Actually, some movement here. Plated Mega and Talent are advancing down the 1, kind of reuniting all together now, all 4 tanks together for Team Fusion.
now, interesting. Conflict is set up in a bush, but I don't necessarily. Okay, so it looks like Jones is calling him back. I was going to say he's in it. He's on their side of the road. So if they sent the bat chat out with a bunch of tanks and he tried to take off or light them or shoot them, they'd have all kinds of shots on Conflict. It looks like Conflict's going to go down. He's driving across the middle of the map here. They have not spotted anything from Wreak Havoc except for the bat chat. Interesting. So now Conflict's looking down the middle road, or the full road as we call it, and he's doing it slowly. So there we go. There's an E100. Call Me Sarge is lit, and the bat chat is lit in the center of town.
Yeah, and that was lit by Bachrocker now and TT Jones, both of them lighting those tanks respectively. Call Me Sarge in the E100, holding that 3 line corner. Actually, sorry, he's actually advanced into the berm here, and Bachrocker is looking at him very patiently.
Yeah, very patiently. And you can see Bachrocker is kind of set up on that corner with those ruins. He's got his barrel pointed through there. He'll definitely have shots on him if Sarge tries to press that issue. Now, you see TT Jones in the middle of the road there in a precarious kind of situation, but he feels comfortable enough to be able to do that because, as you can see, Conflict is still lighting that 4 road. So he's not necessarily worried about getting flanked or anything like that from the rear. So he's just kind of hanging out in the middle of the road waiting for them to kind of come in, which normally you wouldn't see if there was Artie in play or if they weren't secure with Conflict's positioning on that Delta Village, which is the D8 9 area, D8 DE89 area.
Call Me Sarge did disappear just now. He was lit there for a while, so that gave Team Fusion at least, intelligence on where the E100 is. So it kind of tells them, okay, so they're in the 3 line. Most likely the T-57s are, what do you think, at church, I would say? Maybe also in that slanted road there, angled road, as it's referred to next to the cap here. I'm not sure, but
I agree. Yeah.
that's up to the commander to call. But still, a lot of information. 2 tanks have already been lit. And what's interesting is Artie takes skill. The Havok bat chat is staying in the city. So that trap that was initially attempted to be set by Conflict didn't really work out. Conflict is now, as you can see, more centered towards, shifted more towards the middle of the map. Oh, actually, no. Now look at this. Artie takes skill is lit by Conflict.
Yeah, and you can see Conflict just sitting there, and Artie takes skill. You can guarantee that he's running Sixth Sense on his commander, so he knows he was lit. He probably did not light Conflict, so he has no idea who lit him from where. He can only assume, since some of the 57s and the E100 were lit in the city, that it was Conflict out there somewhere. So, you know, maybe look for Havok to start pulling all their tanks out of the city and go, okay, let's go get him out. I think he's aggressive. Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
look at
Sarge is
this.
moving.
Yep, Sarge is moving. Bachrocker getting ready to shoot here. He did pull up a little bit, but nope. No shots exchanged yet. TT Jones, of course, on the ready to take shots as well. TT Jones in a much heavier tank, the E100. Lots of spaced armor, ability to bounce shots with proper angle.
And here
There's
goes
the
Flop,
first shot.
lighting him up.
Yep, first shot on Call Me Sarge. Call Me Sarge loses 432 hit points there, down to 2,268 for Wreak Havok's E100.
Mm-hmm. And he's still lit. He's still getting lit by Bachrocker through that little crack in the building, I think. We may see him disappear here, maybe not. I mean, this is incredible vision for Team Fusion. They know where that E100 is at all times now. Really interesting light. Do you think it's coming through the cracks in the building there from Bachrocker? It seems
Yeah,
like it.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah.
I think, well, first of all, the E100 Call Me Sarge did not push into the intersection far enough for Conflict to see him. So it has to be Bachrocker. He's the only one with a line of sight that way. And yeah, we can see here he's using the little, just a small crack in the rubble there, gives him enough vision to spot Call Me Sarge in the E100. And E100 is a big tank, so it's a bit easier to spot if not a lot of camo rating there, and especially on the move. So easy spot. And Call Me Sarge now lost 432 hit points. So right now, due to the fact that the lineups are mirrored for both teams, Team Fusion is up, at least in
Is
hit
up,
points.
yeah. But again, we saw when Wreak Havoc was going up against Simp, Sarge was down to 217 hit points, and Simp wasn't able to capitalize on it. And Wreak Havoc actually won that exchange. I mean, they were down. Oh, here we go.
Here we
Bad
go.
chat movement, and
Yeah,
he gets away.
Batchet runs into the F row, but he's getting shot by Conflict, down to 1,000 hit points. Call Me Sarge is going down to 1403. Bachrocker takes a shot. He's down to 5047. Artie Takes Skill is in trouble because Conflict had shots on him all the way in. He's down to 719 hit points.
And here
TT
goes
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, TT Jones
Bounce.
bounces on Call Me Sarge. Right now we see Conflict in the distance there, engaging Artie Takes Skill. Artie Takes Skill is down to 300. There he goes. Conflict finishes off the Batchat for Wreak Havoc.
Right, and now we're down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Sarge is backing up, and you're going to see them really press him here to get him out.
Yep,
and,
Talent.
Yep.
Talent and Bachrocker in the back there with TT Jones. Call Me Sarge goes down really quick with that focus fire.
Yeah, and they've got 2 minutes to work here. Now look at this. They've gotten flanked from the rear by Wreak Havoc.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Talent is in focus fire right now. He's down to 950, 594, 173. Is he going to die? Nope.
Gets away.
He gets away. Just barely turns that corner. TT Jones takes a shot on the one saver. This looks to be like Team Fusion is in control right now.
Yeah, and Havoc is,
Conflict
is on the cap of Wreak Havoc, forcing the cap. He's got a full clip, and if he can draw that 57 back, this is a game. This could be in the bag for Team Fusion.
Kazo and the one savior for Wreak Havok are in trouble. They're pincered from both sides right now. Plated Mega on that corner. TT Jones pushing this corner. Right now they have to pick a target and focus him, but they can't because Plated Mega keeps going around the corner. Kazo goes down. The one savior goes down. Wreak Havok down to one tank and 50% of their base capped.
Now, this will be interesting. If you see Conflict's going to come off the cap and finish this because I don't think he was comfortable with the time that they had left on the clock to be able to get this and finish it out. So here goes Conflict. Boom. So wow. That was impressive.
Impressive victory for Team Fusion. They take the first game, not losing a single tank.
Not losing a single. I mean, Talad getting out of there. That was real sketchy. I mean, he was definitely going to go down to one more, and he just edged that track around the corner and got out.
Well, taking a look here at the damage done, 2,861 for TT Jones. Very nice. 5 for 5 shooting. Only one non-pen on that Call Me Sarge E100 there on the turret. With 8.5, we actually are able to give you damage statistics much better without any mods. 2,500 damage for Bachrocker, 2,459 for Plated Mega, 1992 for Conflict. Very nice positioning there, controlling the Delta Village, finishing off the enemy Batchat. Artie Takes Skill. He went down pretty fast in that F row. And Talent, 1438. 3 kills, 6 for 6 shooting. Very nice shooting from Team Fusion. Only 2 missed shots by Plated Mega. Bachrocker also missed a shot. So total of 3 missed shots for the entire team of Team Fusion. Now on the other side, Kazo, 2,078 damage, and of course from here on out, damage kind of goes down. Artie Takes Skill, 0 damage. That's just a huge negative there for Team Wreak Havok. Just no damage out of Artie Takes Skill. A bit of a rushed decision there, and ends up costing them a game.
Yeah, and I think you talked about it a little bit in the stream. They left the Batchat in the city for what seemed like an eternity. They left him there. He tried to go back out a little bit too late when Team Fusion had already controlled that entire field with conflict. Brilliant spot by him. Really impressed with his bat chat play. I mean, I kind of picked on him in one of the streams on his 62A play because it was just kind of reckless, it seemed. But boy, I don't know what happened there. I think they put him on a tank
Here,
he's more comfortable with.
here we go into battle number 2. Team Fusion up 1-0. And let's listen into what they have to say.
Yeah, standard positioning. Conflict might be red hot, so if we could have Church Guy come up to me for the first second, so that you can get up to the dip.
Okay.
My spawn is less than favorable.
Yeah, Conflicts is god awful, so we got to be there to support him.
I'm just gonna head right for the 0 for a good bush because I'm not gonna get there in time.
So we get Matt Damon.
I got Damon. I got him.
Yeah, but we got to see him on that 6 column, but
Okay.
Where's Talent going?
I'm going with James to.
So Team Fusion, they're concerned with the 6th line. They're going to be scouting with conflict going up the middle. And the rest of the guys going into the city, taking up, looked like they were poking towards the F row there, F3. Interesting, very aggressive move if they do go there. But meanwhile, we're looking at conflict scouting Delta Village.
Yeah, he's driving up there to try and get an early light to see if they're going to push everything they have up in that Delta Village. And I don't know if he was worried about his spawn, so I don't know if he's going to get quite the eyes that he really wanted to get up there. And that could be a big surprise for him if Wreak Havok decides to push everything they have up that 789 A789 road down the 0 line of Delta to Delta Village, and just take him out like they did with Simp.
Yeah, but so far, Conflict playing very aggressively. Doesn't look like Wreak Havok went here at all. And now he's going to take up the bushes and wait for the rest of the team to position themselves. TT Jones looking over the fountain. Talad behind the church. Bladed Mega in the 1 row. And Bach Rocker looking down the 3 line on a mirror wreck here, rubble here, pile. You can see him kind of looking through this crack there up the 3 line.
Oh, here we go.
Conflict does light.
Conflict runs into the bat chat.
Yep, the bat chat and 2 T57s for Wreak Havok are lit. Conflict not coming out on top of this engagement so far. 885 hit points for him, 1366 for Artie Takes Skill.
Yeah, and here goes Conflict pulling away. Artie Takes Skill is going to try and poke and get one more shot of him. I don't think he's going to get it. And again, like I said, with Conflict not being aggressive with that light on that 0 column, we saw them. So now you're going to see either Fusion recognizing that, forcing their will on the cap, maybe setting up. Who knows? They're bringing Conflict back to the cap to get out of there. They know they lost that engagement.
And look at this. The rest of the Team Fusion's team is not moving so far. So only Conflict running back, even though PPK and Kazo have been lit by Conflict in the 0 line.
Now, what happened to Fusion before in one of these other matches I remember was that happened to them. They pulled everything back they said, okay, push to the cap. They're all here. And they did that and ended up getting capped out. So I don't think they want to make that mistake. So you're seeing them play a little bit differently now. Now you may see them set up in that defensive posture that we saw against Kozak, and remember we saw against which team was that they played where they set up? Geez, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But again, we've seen some defensive play there, and Conflict is lit.
Yep,
and
Call
he
Me
can go down
Sarge.
here if he gets hit by Sarge.
Call Me Sarge was lit on that F5, E5, E6 position. So now it looks like the game has switched, has shifted to the field. Wreak Havok is controlling most of the field while Team Fusion is controlling the city.
Well, now Wreak Havok knows that Conflict is not in the field anymore, and I don't know that was a smart move for Conflict to pull out and get behind that fountain. Yes, it's a great place to set up and spot everything, because you could see that city set up like a hand, like a bunch of fingers that are spread out, and he can see down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, 6 of those fingers on that road. So I don't know, but again, it's an aggressive position, good place to light people. but you can also get caught out there solo and get dropped. So who knows if he's going to stay there or move or what, but interesting. And again, we see Fusion set up in their defensive posture. I think they thought that Havok felt like they could push down that 0 line, but knowing Havok and how cheeky they can be, they probably pulled everything back and it's like, hey, we'll make them think we're out here. There's a lot of metagame going on with a lot of these teams. So Fusion realizes they don't have to rush. They can take their time. They're down on the hit points. Don't force the engagement. Slow it down. That's what good teams do.
Yeah, so we just had a bit of flying over the positions here. Team Fusion holding that one line, hiding behind those windows and rubble, controlling their cap, and Conflict is their advanced scout for the one line. One thing to note though, if Conflict gets rushed by Artie Takes Skill right now down the one line, Conflict is most likely is not going to be prepared for it, and due to the fact that he has less hit points, it's only going to take about 3 shots to finish Conflict off. He might go down, and that's going to be a huge loss for Team Fusion because of that defensive positioning.
Exactly. And it's like we just talked, sitting out there, leaving him out there without any support. I mean, they got Jones there, but Jones isn't going to get there quick to save Conflict.
There we
so
go.
Here we go. Some movement down the middle road, and
Yeah,
Conflict did light him.
Yep, Call Me Sarge is going down, so they crossed over now into F6. They crossed that corner. Most likely the T-57s are going down the 0 line, I would assume. So the entire Wreak Havok team is most likely right past the midpoint of the map, pushing into Team Fusion's side of the map.
Could be, or here's where the metagame comes in, folks. They could have set a trap for Fusion, make them come back to the cap, and they were set up in the 6, 7, 8 road, make them come in to try and cap them out, and they would just make them pay from invisibility from that foliage over there, because we know there's buildings, there's bushes, there's all sorts of cover that they could just absolutely annihilate them if they tried to push the cap on them. And then they could send their bad chat down to cap out, kind of like what Fusion did with Conflict. I don't think Wreak Havok knows that they pulled back in this turtled up defensive position. Again, not the most exciting play in the world, guys, but this is what teams will do if they're down hit points and they feel like they don't want to push the issue.
We're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds here. TT Jones taking a very aggressive move here, pushing up the 3 line in his E100. That's not a very mobile tank, and he's going to be in trouble if he gets jumped here by the enemy team.
Yeah, and I think why he's doing that is he's like, okay, guys, I need your 57 guns. I don't need the 57 coming up here to light anything and taking a couple unnecessary hits. At least he might be able to bounce, absorb, or just take in some damage on that 2700 hit point, E100. Aggressive, yeah. I don't know if I would risk putting myself out there, because, I mean, they're kind of, although they are defensive, you're right, they're kind of spread out a little bit.
RT Takes Skill was lit in the 1 line, and of course we saw the E100 Call Me Sarge in the F row. So Conflict pulls back. TT Jones right now is probably the most separated out of all of the 5 team members here for Team Fusion, and it looks like it's going for the draw. They're going for the draw right now.
Yeah, and I bet they're okay with that only because they've, basically lost all those hit points.
Yeah, Call Me Sarge took a shot there. He's down to 2,335 hit points. That was Talid shooting from this window here. Bachrocker kind of backing him up here together. They're able to put down that E100 pretty quick if it decides to push. Wreak Havok. T-57s have not been lit so far. 3 of them most likely in the field. Waiting
or back
for
at cap, yeah.
or back at cap, yeah, definitely. So looks like this one is going down to a draw. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Call Me Sarge poking again. There's one of the T-57s. That's all 3 of them. All 3 57s are pushing. Conflict is gonna see some action here in a second. Oh, and Artie Takes Skill is pincering the E100 TT Jones.
Yeah, but I don't know that this might be a little too late. Jones is going to take some rear shots from the 57, so he should go down here.
Yep, 3 T-57s shooting TT Jones from the back and the bad chat as well. Here he's going to go down. There he goes.
Yep.
PPK takes him out. Now 3 T-57s for Wreak Havok are pushing up the church, And the Artie Take skill is pushing down into the cap area for Team Fusion.
Yeah, and here's where we're going to see they're going to have a really hard time digging these guys out. They put the bat chat on the cap. He may try to flank, but again, you've got Plated in the window over there who's able to shoot him. So here comes the bat chat. They're going to try and force their will on these guys.
Yeah, it's down to 40 seconds. No team can, of course, no, we're not even talking about capping anymore. Right now, it has to be a kill, clean kill, or that's it.
Yeah, and Havok knows they've got the advantage, so they're really going to push hard. But again, hard to break this kind of turtle. So they're sending in a low 57.
Talit is focused right now.
Yeah.
Talit is separated from the rest of the crew, and he goes down. But meanwhile, two tanks, well, now one tank left as one-shottable for Team Wreak Havok. Artie Take skill is reloading in the bat chat. PPK and Kazo are the only ones left here. Bachrocker is down to 412. And this is going to be a draw.
Yeah, and same amount of tanks, though. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we thought it would play out. They turtled up, they lost the engagement, realized it, pulled back, and made Havok come in, and they turtled up. Being on the other side of that, it's tough.
Yeah, so quickly writing down the damage done. Look at this. Artie Takes skill. 3,100 damage here in the bat chat. Only 2 missed shots. 2 non-pens as well, but 3164, very nice. He was the one that was that surprised Conflict in Delta Village, in the little village area, and was able to dish out so much damage that gave Wreak Havok the advantage early on. The rest of the team, PPK 2,600 damage, Kazo 1214, and 1097 for the one savior. Call Me Sarge kind of went down quick, but look at this, took 14 shots while going down, 5,600 potential damage received. A very nice indicator there, a very good use of the E100. 2,647 for Bachrocker, Conflict 2494. Good. Even though he was down, he was still able to be very effective in the bat chat. 2,087 for Talad, 1,293 for Plated Mega. TT Jones, 0. And look at this, 4,360 potential damage. So very good potential damage for both E100s on both teams. Using them, to soak in shots, and then, of course, if they're able to take shots, that's a bonus. But if they're not, at least they made the enemy team waste their autoloaders on them. So going into the third game, we're now 1-0 and 1 draw in this matchup of the heavyweights.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's kind of what we expected to see, that kind of spread damage when the teams are, they only lost 1 tank each. Cool to see that those E100s were used how we talk about a damage sponge.
Okay, going into our third battle now. And no changes for either team. Same lineup, E100, 3 T57s, and Batchat. Let's listen in.
In the future, Conflict, if you've established middle, don't just sit there. You got to check that 0 line. The bat was behind you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see the
The 6 column.
and the 57 as well. But yeah, that's what I normally go to the 0, but you guys wanted me to check the field, so.
True.
Let's get this show on the road.
But from this side, it's a lot easier to get up into that initial spot. Plus, my spawn was crappy last time.
Okay, so Conflict going for that light once again on the Delta Village. Let's see if he lights anything from Wreak Havok. Here he goes. Yep, Artie Takes skill is here. Both of them are most likely not loaded just yet. It's going to be any second now-ish. Conflict and Artie Takes skill should be. Oh, there was a shot that came in towards Conflict. We saw that bush or ground explode there. So Wreak Havok taking early shots on Conflict, maybe trying to run a trap on him. Meanwhile, Team Fusion is pushing quite aggressively into the fountain area of the city.
Yeah, and Conflict's bugging out because he knows they took a shot, so those heavies have got to be close by. They're probably backing him up on that 0 line, hoping to get in there maybe a little bit earlier and taking Conflict out again. That's a good strategy by Wreak Havok. It worked with them against Simp. It worked for them this last game against Team Fusion. So You know, go with what you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, that's one of my big things with tournaments is don't play the meta game. You know, if you're winning with what you're doing, stick with it
Yeah.
because 9 times out of 10, it's gonna pay off for you.
Meanwhile, Fusion is already almost at the base of Wreak Havok, pushing the one line, pushing um, the H2 area, and now they're taking away those defensive positions that they just used against Wreak Havok.
Oh wow.
TT Jones,
Look at this setup. They're set
wow.
up in the same exact spot they were this last match defensively, and now they're going to draw them to the cap. I mean, this could be either over really quick for either team. I mean,
Conflict is running back. Probably he's the one that's going to be setting cap pressure right now, and the rest of Team Fusion waits. TT Jones, look at this. TT Jones and Plated Mega are already next to the cap circle. Here comes TT Jones driving into the cap circle right now.
yep, here we go. So they're going to set them up. And Sarge, you're going to probably see come back and try and take that building spot. So they're going, uh-oh, 28 seconds, guys. We got to get back and stop this cap. And here he comes Sarge.
Yep, Sarge is down to 2361. He's in focus fire right now, and no reset on Conflict. Conflict is the smallest tank right now. You can see Team Fusion hiding him behind the T57 and the E100. It's going to be very hard to reset them right now. 63, 65, going really fast. They need a reset, or else.
There is a reset, big reset. Sarge is going to go down here. Oh, nope, he backed away just in time. And there's another reset, so they're getting lit from that road there. This could be bad for Fusion.
Yeah, T57s are shooting for Wreak Havok, and TT Jones is down now, so only 2 on cap and only 25 cap points.
Yeah, they got to get Sarge out. There goes Sarge. Now they need that lead 57 to go down. Here comes the Bat Chat, going to barrel in and try and get those 57s out.
Yeah, Batchat in the one line already takes skill, is going to be pushing in on Bachrocker and Talad. Plated Mega has to come off the cap. Right now, things have turned. Wreak Havok seems to be in control so far.
Yeah, Fusion's got to get that Bat Chat out, and I think you'll see the 357s kind of converge on him. You're going to see Conflict probably go down here on the cap. And again, guys, this is the danger of trying to cap fast. And there goes the Bat Chat. So now, evened up, but it looks like Havok's got all the hit points advantage here. But I think Team Fusion's got the better
positioning.
Yeah, because here comes PPK coming down, trying to get Plated out. Plated's got to back up and get around and get the support of his buddies here, or else he's going to go down real quick to PPK. PPK is being aggressive coming down that 3 line.
Yep, Plated though at 710 hit points. That's what, 2 shots, and he's going to go down. That's only half a clip for T57. He'll still have 2 shots to fire back at Talad in case. Well, never mind. Plated now in safety.
In safety, yeah, that's a good move. I don't know if PPK just didn't push that or slowed down, or now they're
maybe he was
about
reloading.
It could be too, yeah, sure. So this is now going to become a waiting game where Fusion's got the position advantage, but I think Havok has the hit point advantage. And here we go. Here's some movement from Talad, taking the point.
Yep, Talad and Plated Mega are going to try and take out PPK, who's in this angled road. There he is. He's at 1849 hit points. Oh, that's a miss by Talad.
Oh, Talad's going to back up here. He's going to get sniped. Oh, there we go. The other 57's pulling into Bachrocker's sights, and Bachrocker's just unloading on him right now.
Yeah, Bachrocker taking shots on the one saver. One saver is down to 1207, but it relieved pressure from PPK. So
sure
maybe that worked so far at least. Plated Mega and Talad are most likely reloading right now, making sure they have a full clip in case an engagement comes to them right now.
And you're seeing Plated start to peel off and go towards that church to get a wider angle so they can have 2 different angles of attack rather than coming in and trying to bunch up and try to shoot over each other and jockey for position to get shots. So this is cool. This is a really neat engagement here. 3-on-3 with T57s all around.
Yeah, Plated Mega hiding behind the church. He can utilize those bushes. 2 bushes right on the corner of the church will give him great camo. And there goes Talad again, lining PPK. PPK is extended. Ooh, a miss by Plated Mega, or
Yeah,
it was
much
a
needed hit there. He needed
yeah.
to nail that because he gave up his position and he missed. So two bad things just happened there.
PPK,
One thing that probably
PPK
do
taking
here is they
an
can.
aggressive position there. Look at this. Oh, Talid is surprised by Kazo. PPK and Kazo are going to be able to finish off Talid right now. Plated Mega is down to 274 hit points. 3 minutes to go. This could still end up a victory for Wreak Havok if they manage the time right.
Yeah, I think they will. I think this is going to be definitely a win for Wreak Havoc. I mean, they did a great job getting out of that triangle that that Fusion had set up for them. So interesting enough, you're going to see Bach try
Comes
to go over and
Kazo.
help him. Too little, too late.
Yeah, PPK and Kazo finish off Plated Mega right now, down to Bachrocker versus 3 T57s. Wreak Havok, great call to push Kazo into the into the 3 line, and surprise,
Yep.
Talon.
Great move. Great. I mean, it's great flanking move. I think had Fusion kind of just set up and waited and received them, they would have had it. I don't know why they felt like they needed to push them. They're already in a defensive position. So here we are. We had one win, one draw, and one loss for Fusion, and one loss, one draw, one win for Wreak Havoc.
Yeah, and we saw great sportsman-like behavior there from both teams, calling out GGs on that game. So 1-1 and one draw. If you guys are just joining us, the action is heating up. Things are going very, very, tense, intense, down to last minutes usually, and lots of, critical shots for both teams. Some of them are missed. Those critical shots, perhaps, if Plated made those shots, if Talon made those shots, perhaps PPK would have been down. Let's take a look here at the post-battle report. Look at this. Bachrocker, 4,232 damage. Amazing game. 1844 for Talad, Plated 1,000. Conflicts, only 752 in the batch at TT Jones, 0. Let's look at Wreak Havok, 35-17, much more balanced here. 32-76 for Kazo, 35-17 for PPK, 18-58 for the one savior. Call me Sarge, 15-58. So that E100 did do some damage, did do those resets. Of course, Team Fusion was going for the cap, and they were exposed there. So gave Call me Sarge plenty of time to make those shots count. And Artie takes skill, 1,000 damage, a bit of a, I think they kind of threw the batch out a bit early there.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
maybe a little bit of an aggressive move. It did throw Team Fusion off guard a little bit, but I think that Artie takes skill ran in there and he was pincered out by Bachrocker and I believe Talid, and that cost Wreak Havok that bad shot. They could have probably kept him for a little bit later and set up a better crossfire. But anyway, still a great game. Wreak Havok pulls Kaza, one of the T-57s, and surprises Talid, drops him, and that swings the game into their favor. Let's listen into this next one.
I got Damon. You going left or right of it?
I'm going in front to the right.
Okay.
Standard.
Yes. Try and reside back here a little quicker.
Time to roll out.
And we'll see what they do. But I
Go
really need
directly
to see
there.
that 6 Colin.
Yeah.
No, I need to see the 6 standard.
Okay, well, kind of not a lot of instructions there for Team Fusion. Standard positions again. Bachrocker, we see TT Jones going down towards the 3 line. Talid and Plated Mega taking up their positions most likely by the church and in the 1 line. Yep, we see Plated Mega separating already. Conflict, lighting already takes skill. Still not loaded. They're going to be loaded here any second. And let's see if there's still another surprise waiting for Conflict with the T-57s perhaps in Delta Village. Already takes skill. Look at this. Pushing up, making a very aggressive move towards Conflict right now.
He's coming right at him because he thinks he's going to catch Conflict running away. Conflict's breaking some stone walls there to try and get some better shots, I guess. But
He's running.
Skill did not come in. He just drove away, or he could still be coming in or set up. Maybe he's in a bush and we just don't see him. So here goes Conflict, gonna pull away from there.
Yeah, Conflict is egressing down towards the cap for Team Fusion, coming back, probably gonna rejoin. Oh no, actually, look at this. He's turning towards the zero line.
Yeah, and maybe he's hoping to catch the 57s or whatnot coming down that line. Now, best case scenario is you want to stay in the back of that line on the zero if you can, because it gives you a little bit of escape route between those buildings over there. So you probably see him sit back there and camp for a little bit and see if they do try to push that Delta road. Nope, they're sending him forward a little bit. He just didn't like the bush he was in, it looks like. Again, the last match where they went for the cap fast, you could see where you're like, oh, they've got this in the bag. Well, a good team will come back, take their time. I mean, the cap was never really in jeopardy. I mean, I think they had it down to 13 seconds at one point, but that's nothing in this game when a game like this can come down to seconds. So what they could have done is got on the cap, started capping, pulled back, and made them come into a trap. But again, you're playing metagame there, so he probably just had a gutsy call, wanted to stick with it, and now we're on to the next match. So interesting. Fusion's set up in their city defensive spot with Conflict out in the field.
Yeah, Conflict is lighting that zero line, using those bushes. TT Jones and the rest of the crew are holding the fountain and the 3 line, making sure nothing comes down the city. And they pretty much have good eyes right now everywhere. There's Call Me Sarge and TT Jones. Great shot. Takes Call Me Sarge down to 2,022 hit points there. Wow. Nice shot, TT Jones.
Yeah, I was watching Conflict to see what he was doing, so I missed that. But yeah, Jones seems like he's on fire with that E100. I mean, he was making shots left and right before. So that's a huge hit point loss for Wreak Havok right now to have their hit point sponge eat a ginormous shot like that.
Oh, and there we go. Conflict lighting already takes skill there in the batch head. Conflict, look at this, 1,000 damage, but T-57s are there in the zero line. He gets nuked. Conflict is down. Already takes skill, is down to 582 hit points, but that's a huge loss for Team Fusion.
Oh yeah, and that's what we thought. So here we go. They're gonna, they realize they're on another tank again. Conflict sat too far up on that line and paid for it. I mean, the Bat Chat drove forward with support from a 57 and they cleared it out. This is the game they played with Simp. So we'll see if they continue down that zero line. My bet is they pull out of there now that they've cleared the Bat Chat out, and they push all 5 tanks at once on top of Fusion. But who knows? I mean, they may surprise us a little bit here. So if we see Fusion backpedaling back into their defensive positions again, now that they know that they've lost that Bat Chat, I mean, this could be huge. And we saw Wreak Havok get in there and dig them out before. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wreak Havok get in there and dig them out again.
Yeah, well, right now, having a numerical advantage like this, and perhaps now knowing how to do it, Wreak Havok has a huge advantage with
well,
the.
we got to remember too. We got to remember too that Bat Chat is one-shotable by Jones, is probably two-shotable by a 57, and Sarge did take a huge shot from Jones. So all in all, the hit points are about the same, but the guns are where it's going to come into play. I mean, they got a Bat Chat with 5 in the clip. If they can at least get him in there to even up the score hit points wise, they'll be in good shape. So Havok knows how to play the game where you sit your tanks back and you send somebody in with their guns pointed in the direction of where you want to scout. Basically, they were playing those 57s like you would say an arty piece, where the guy goes up, scouts forward, and the arty just rains hell on them. Well, they did it with 57s, and Conflict got set on fire there too, so that did not help his case at all.
Yeah, right now we see Team Fusion holding the one line and waiting for something to happen for Wreak Havok. Wreak Havok has all the time in the world to set this right, to set up this attack right. Most likely they already know because they have seen this from Team Fusion already in the previous round. Let's see how Call Me Sarge calls it for the guys. I expect the Bat Chat to come in delayed this time around instead of first, but who knows? I could be definitely wrong here. Bach Rocker is holding the 3 line. TT Jones also pushing up now towards the church, perhaps.
He's going to do that 3-line light again, and I think he may pay for it this time if he goes too far up. I think Havok's gotten a little bit smarter. They're not going to come across that wide open field this time. If anything, they'll come down that 3, maybe down the 1. Remember, the Fusion was set up like this before, and we said if Kozaks had pulled back and come around from that 1 line, I think it would have been a different story because they can get in there on that 1 and that 2, and these ruins prevent Fusion from taking any shots, and it gives Wreak Havok all the vision in the world that they need.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think we'll see Wreak Havok drive across the middle of the field again. I mean, that would be absolutely silly on their part to try and do that. I mean, Sarge took a ton of hits there, but again, we
Yeah,
don't know what's going to happen.
TT Jones is watching down the 1 line for that batch head to come in, and as you mentioned, he is down to, I believe, 582 hit points. So if TT Jones makes the shot on him, he's down with 1 shot just like that. So Artie takes skill is going to go down, and all of a sudden this game is even again. Ooh, nice.
Boom, there's a shot by
Call me Sarge. Yeah.
Sarge on Bachrocker. That's a big hit.
It
He's
looked
playing
like it was almost, they expected them to be there. A very nice aimed shot there by Call Me Sarge. Bachrocker down for 1448. So right now, hit points wise, it looks like Team Fusion is starting to lose because Call Me Sarge was down to 2,000 as you see there, and the batch head is down. So for a while there, it was even.
Lit they're in a triangle right now, and here comes Call Me Sarge. Now, going to be very important for Jones to hit that shot, and now Bachrocker's going to unload on Sarge out the middle, and he bounces, and he bounces
Another
again.
Bounce. Wow.
And he
miss. Call Me Sarge escapes with that one, but Bachrocker is out of the fight. Let's see if the batch head comes in now.
Yeah, Bachrocker took 3 shots there. He's probably forcing a clip that's about 22 seconds.
There's the batch head.
Yep, and he takes a rush shot on
because
Jones. So
TT Jones is looking that way. TT Jones is controlling him right now. Ooh, look at this crossing the field. PPK and Kazo are pushing over into the angled road. Call Me Sarge is advancing. All 3 TP7s for Wreak Havok are lit right now, crossing the field. In the meanwhile, Call Me Sarge is down to 567. Bachrocker is engaging him. And this looks like it's going to be a draw because both teams are in a very turtley position. This is
well, yeah.
If you don't call this a turtle.
Fusion is in a turtley position. Havok's trying to push on them, and you see a little frustration coming through from Artie Takes Skill saying nice strat, and I agree. I think it's, unfortunately, it's the nature of this game. They lost a tank, they were down, and they turtled up. I mean, it sucks. It does, guys. I get it. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, and a lot of people hate the turtling or camping or whatever, but guys, this isn't Counter-Strike. There's $800 worth of gold on the line here, so people are going to do it. I've been on the receiving end of it and on the practicing end of it, and it's not fun. And you've dirty, but
Kazo gets lit on the corner here. Plated Mega and Talad are able to shoot on him. Plated Mega taking pokes right now through those rubble in the 1 line, and Call Me Sarge. Stanks, no, actually, he's still poking the corner. Already takes skill poking the corner. So Wreak Havok still trying to attempt to get some sort of an advantage here. Maybe take out one of the T57s to give him enough of the, an advantage to actually push into that and try to take him out. But down to 10 seconds, this is going to be another draw.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I think if Fusion had kind of pushed the issue there, they might have been able to overpower them. But I think they said, okay, let's reset. Let's stop losing conflict to doing stupid stuff like leaving him out by himself when we know they're going to push 57s and a bat chat up there and just nuke him. So,
okay, let's look at damage-wise. Team Fusion did better. 1699 for Plated Mega. TT Jones 1447, 1218 for Conflict, 686 for Bachrocker, 384 for Talad. Talad only fired 1 shot in that entire game. Meanwhile, on Wreak Havok's side, things are better in terms of the actual damage output is balanced out. But of course, not much you can do in those situations. There's very little room to shoot. Call Me Sarge placing a nice shot on Bachrocker there, coming across in that 3 line. Very well aimed shot, but otherwise it's very tough to hit those shots, especially where you have to poke, where you have to wait for the light, you have to wait for that server to catch up and actually tell you, yep, there's a tank there, here he is. That takes all of that takes time, and there's a little bit of ping involved, every latency involved, and for you to aim shots really quick without taking damage is very hard. So Team Fusion was able to do more damage. Even they could have counter pushed and perhaps even won that game
I
if
think
if
so
they timed
too.
it right.
Well, yeah, and they could have counter pushed. Um, yeah, I don't know why they didn't, but Havoc kind of drove into their line of fire, and um, it would have been. I hate to say it, a win's a win, but it would have been a kind of a crappy win. They turtled up, drew them in, picked them off, and then if they would have drove in and beat them, I don't know that they wanted to win that way, but who knows? I mean, we don't know the mindset, and there's a lot going on, and uh, so uh, you know, uh, turtling up again, not the most exciting thing in the world.
Yep, here we go into our what, fifth battle now? Let's uh
Yes, this is fifth
let's
battle.
let's listen in.
I mean, from this side, we can do a similar to what they did and kill that bat.
Let's do
Let's just do the 6 column attack, and we'll run it like that.
And if they come from a cap rush, we know where to sit. Put 2 people in that little village. Someone where Bach is now. The other 2 on the cap, I guess.
Move out.
You want me in the
Anybody
village?
going zero line?
No, we need to go down 6 column and ice this guy. We'll go through here and then work that.
I am
Conflict.
lagging.
Okay. Well, they're trying to push the five line.
Yeah, they're trying to push the 5 line, and the reason why they're up there they go. They've lit the bat chat, and I think the bat chat's going to light everybody coming down that middle road here. Their reasoning was they want to get the bat chat out. They've just showed their hand, so this could be dangerous for Team Fusion.
Plated Mega crossing the road now into the F6 area here, holding the corner. Batchat already takes skill, still in the city and very, very vulnerable right now.
Conflict's trying to push him out of that city, and here goes the engagement. Now, those 57s can get him here if Jones just shot down a. There we go. There's a 57 lit in the 0.
Yep, one savior is lit for Wreak Havok. Already takes skill, gets unlit here, but they know where he is. Conflict is actually in a dangerous position right now. If he commits into the 0, there's most likely. Oh no! Look at this. Already takes skill. Is trying to run away, but he's going to be under fire here from the entire team of Team Fusion. Takes down to 608. If just 2 more shots, and he would have been dead.
Yeah, and it looked like Jones, had he laced that shot, it would have been over for them. So now you're going to see Jones is peeling out back towards the cap. All the 57s are following them because they know they've given up their hand. They know Wreak Havok knows that they're in the 4 line. Good movement, good idea to get out of there. Now they've got field control. Um, Now they've got some field control. They've got conflict over there. They could push on him if they wanted to with those 57s, but now they think that those guys are still lined up. So here's where the metagame comes in. People talk about the metagame. Well, what that means is now it's in the other commander's head of, well, maybe they're here, maybe they'll do that, maybe this is you start to see teams kind of separate themselves and break down a little bit. So we don't know. Obviously, Fusion's coming back to the cap, setting back up in their defensive positions. They've got the hit point advantage now. They've got a pretty healthy bat chat, so will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, hopefully, I think what they're hoping is Havok kind of plays into a trap here, and I don't think Havok will. Havok's really smart team.
Yeah, TT Jones, Barkrocker, Talad taking the city, and Plated Mega holding holding the 1 line here. And actually, they're pushing. TT Jones, Barkrocker are advancing towards the fountain. Conflict is the only one in the village, making sure nothing is pushing down the 5 or 6. So far, nothing in the city for Wreak Havok. TT Jones and Barkrocker are playing it careful here around this corner.
Yeah, and I bet you Havok's going to give them a taste of their own medicine and go ahead and turtle up because they're down hit points. and just say, hey, how you guys like it now? We'll turtle up. Why don't you come in and try and tangle with us and see how you like it? I mean, again, metagame, metagame, metagame.
Oh,
And
look
here
at
comes the
this. No.
E100.
Call Me Sarge is pushing up. Conflict is lighting him in the village here. Call Me Sarge realizing that he's lit right now, backing up, making sure there's nothing in the corner, and looks like he knows that there's nothing now. He's pushing towards the corner.
Conflict's caught out there now.
Yep, Conflict is going to go down. Kazo surprises him. There he goes. Conflict actually loses his ammo rack. So now, interesting. Call Me Sarge and Wreak Havok could probably turn back and defend the cap, or they could put some cap pressure now because they have the mobility.
Yeah, and why you would leave Conflict out there by himself for that long is boggling to me. I don't see the point of what they did there. They just threw away a bat chat for no reason. They had the hit point advantage, now they don't.
Okay, so the entire team for Team Fusion is going back to the cap, protect the base. Call Me Sarge was last known position was G5, G6 in that E100, and we're going back to defend the cap with Team Fusion. Bat chat is the biggest issue for Team Fusion because of that mobility. He could have been back at, and defending, capturing the base, putting that cap pressure, forcing them to, make rash decisions. So a good call by Team Fusion. Make sure that it's safe here, and then perhaps push down the 5. Well, no, can't do that because the T-57 is there for Wreak Havok in the village. So seems to be like they're gonna wait for the next move of Wreak Havok.
Yeah, and again, I think they're falling into a bad habit here, where they're like, we're down hit points, we got to turtle up. No, not necessarily. You still got quite an advantage. I mean, that batch yet again is down to 400 hit points, and now you guys are going back and being predictable, and you're turtling up. So now Havok knows that they probably went back and are turtling now, and Havok is just sticking with their game plan. Props to those guys. I mean, they're not wavering. They were down hit points, and they were like, we don't care.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it to you anyway. So turtle up all you want, boys, because we're coming and we're coming hard. And here they go. They're moving through that 6-7. So maybe Fusion will get aggressive down that 0 line.
It looks like they're taking up defensive positions behind bushes here and these buildings in the A row, A7 area, and TT Jones is holding the cap. So right now, yep, defensive positioning by Team Fusion. Wreak Havok, I agree with you. Very methodical play out of them. Very organized. We saw that against Simp. Great focus fire, great shooting by their entire team. When they make the call, the entire team is on board. They, don't hesitate. They just go in there, get the job done, and then keep going.
Yeah, and again, this is gonna make for some terribly unexciting play for everybody watching in the stream right now, and that's just the way it goes, guys. And unfortunately, in this game, there's a lot of turtling, a lot of camping, and a lot of people don't like it. But high-end play, you should be able to overcome any kind of odds that are stacked against you when you're a high-level team. So. Not really liking the turtling up here, and of the play from Fusion, and a lot of people don't. Here we go. Here's some more action.
Talent takes a shot there. He's down to 1835. The one saver. Interesting. I wonder how Talent got lit. Perhaps a batchet is somewhere close.
He's moving around too much.
Yeah, and
Keeps
no
rocking
bushes.
him. Yeah.
And no bushes between these two buildings here, so that probably lit him. So losing hit points. Oh, and there we go. Something was lit there for TT Jones in the city.
E100 from Call Me Sarge. He's
Okay.
up on all the way up on the Delta 2 line. Now, what could happen here is, let's see, where's Jones parked? Let's say they could get in a good flank on them and overpower one side, but they could push their 57s and all 4 tanks in on those 57s and knock them out pretty quick. Well,
Yeah.
not quick. It'll be a crazy fast exchange, and whoever doesn't miss and pen no damage and makes all their shots usually comes out on top.
Yeah, I definitely think right now. Oh, here we go. Already takes skill, rushing in with a bat shot. He's going to be proxy lighting these T-57s. So right now, Wreak Havok has great intelligence information on where Team Fusion is. Plated Mega is proxy lit through that building. Already takes skill. Nice run in down the 0 line. And now Wreak Havok has an advantage of knowing at least where Plated Mega is. Talid, I think, is just outside the 50-meter radius for the proxy light. He might be, though, still lit.
Yeah, and here's where Wreak Havok is.
Already takes skill, playing with fire. Look at this, inching up to that corner. But I hear trees going down. T57, the one saver, is at the fountain. Here comes Kazo, lighting. Plated Mega is going to be in focus fire right now. Talid is there, though. Kazo realizes this, pulls back to safety. Meanwhile, Call Me Sarge and TT Jones are going at it. Here we go. TT Jones is down to 1670. Call Me Sarge is up 1991. This is exchange one-on-one fight going on here, but we're actually going to switch back to the T57s here because this is either going to win or lose the game for Team Fusion. Plated Mega is down to 1,000. Talid 14. Talid is in focus fire now. Actually, Bakraka, no solid focus fire by Wreak Havok right now. They're just taking shots of opportunity. Talid is down to 235. Plated Mega went down. Kazo, but PPK also went down. So right now, two T57s and a Bat Chat versus two 57s.
And you're going to see the Bat Chat go in and help. You're going to see the Bat Chat go in and help Sarge out and take out TT Jones if they're not careful here.
Yeah, Call Me Sarge is actually down now hit points, but TT Jones at 972 is going to finish him off. Bat Chat should be able to reload in time. Kazo, in the meantime, finishes off Talid in this engagement, and Bakrocker is up against two T57s, and it's a draw. It ran out of time.
Oh my goodness!
I completely lost
Havok
track
had
of time.
that. So did I. Yeah.
Havok was winning that one, and they just let it slip. I think they miscalculated the reload timers, and that's another draw. 1-1 and 3 draws, or is it 4 draws now? 4 draws.
That is, yeah,
4 draws so far for us. Wow. Let's see. TT Jones, 2701, 2388 for Ballcrocker. Talid, 1490, 1309 for Plated. Conflict, only 436, only 1 shot out of him. Wreak Havok was able to take him out real quick. 3,220 for Kazo, the one saver, 2798. 1575 for PPK. Call Me Sarge, 1345. 719 for Ari Takes Skill. Actually, not a very good game for Ari Takes Skill this round. I think should he have made a little bit more of a impact in that T57 engagement, that would have ended quicker, and it would be just the E100 left.
Yeah. Man, where did that time go, Soviet? I mean, we were both like into it, watching it, like, and all of a sudden it was just like, okay, wait a minute, what had just happened there? And then the match was over. So, we get into it just as much as you guys, if not maybe a little bit more, because we got so much going on. So we do apologize for that. I lost track of time, and so did Soviet. And I think that was Havok's game right there. I mean, easily Havok's game there.
Yeah. So, Wreak Havok most likely not happy right now. Team Fusion barely escaping that. 1-1 still tied. This could go for a while still.
Yeah, and here we go.
Yeah, going into our 7th battle, I believe.
7th, yes, sir.
And let's listen in to Team Fusion.
Okay. Let's not bother with field from the side. We'll have a better chance on the other, but instead let's do the red line. So I'm gonna need you, Conflict, to just go with us and see how it goes.
Let's get this show on the road.
I got Damon.
So straight to Fountain for me, or to the corner
Yeah.
at E1 even.
Yeah. So.
Okay, looks like Team Fusion is going to be pushing aggressively into the city. Conflict, you heard E1. He's pushing up to the E1 corner, making sure that Wreak Havok is not in the city. He's going to be able to light all crossroads here. Oh, actually, no, look at this. Conflict going towards the fountain.
Yeah, he's going to the fountain, but that could be scary for the. Oh, he's rolling past it. Here he goes. Aggressive lighting. So now Wreak Havok's going to be like, why didn't Conflict light us in the field? Um, and it'll be interesting to see how they adjust or react to that. So,
Yeah, both teams know now, right now, that neither team is in close proximity to each other. So Wreak Havok is either going back to the base or pushing towards Team Fusion's base. Gonna be interesting who puts the cap pressure on first, because I think that's gonna be the decisive factor right now for both teams. Conflict pushing up aggressively. He's now in the backfield of Wreak Havok, going towards the cap.
yeah, here they go. This is going to get interesting really quickly. Maybe they'll step on cap, make them come back, and then just put them in a crossfire, which would be interesting. But what they need to do is they would need to get something up into that little village area so that Wreak Havoc can't come back. I think this is the better side to cap fast from. But what has got to happen is Conflict absolutely has to go up and light that zero column, because they're just going to sit back in the bushes,
And
send
snipe
their
them.
bat chat in, and pick them off.
Yep. So Conflict and TT Jones are now on cap. Plated Mega and Bachrock or Talent, all of them are coming in into the cap. Crazy cap pressure by Team Fusion. Wreak Havok.
And here they go.
Yep. PPK is in the distance. A nice reset on
There
TT
goes
Jones.
Sarge. That was a big hit. They need to focus that 57 out. They don't have much time here.
Talent is now reset. Good calls by Team Fusion. Wreak Havok right now resetting these guys. Talent down to 504, but cap is at 61, 63. Conflict is boxed in there. They can't reset him. I think Plated got shot, but no reset. It was a bounce. 85, 90. Reset.
1 second, 2 second, big crucial spot,
And that's a
it's
cap.
fast. Oh my goodness. So there goes the turtle. So goodness gracious. So we go from sitting around to doing nothing for 3 draws in a row to a cap fast.
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Team Fusion takes another one, so 2-1 and 4 is where we're at. 7 games played. Team Fusion, this one didn't see a lot of action here. Let's quickly run down the score tallied. Only 8 cap points. Bachrocker, 20 cap points. Conflict, 38. So that's 58 points there. And Plated Mega, 26. That pretty much takes the game for them. Plated Mega, Conflict, and Bachrocker needed to be reset. They were able to reset Talent and TT Jones because they were outside, but the rest of them were tough to hit. Damage-wise, of course, more damage for Wreak Havok. 1392 for the one savior, 14 reset, 14 defense points. Kazo, only 2 defense points there. Probably hit Talent most of the time. Call Me Sarge, 841 damage, 18 reset points. PPK, 300 damage. He was the one detecting the team. Look at this, damage upon spotting, 3,319. So he was the one spotting everything. Already takes skill. I think he was way deep into the enemy territory there for Wreak Havok. They were probably putting him on cap as Team Fusion drove into the cap. So a bit mistimed there, and Team Fusion takes this one. 2-1. Team Fusion needs one more victory. We are 2-1 and 4 so far going into our 8th game.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just following along with some of the banter that's going on in the chat, and boy, people just hate the camping. And we didn't see it there, so interesting to see that happen. And you know, you touched on it a bit there when they were cap fasting. Is they basically boxed the bat chat Conflict in so that he could not get hit at all, which was huge. And then they stuck Plated behind him. Interesting call, and it paid off for them. Here we go.
Yep, let's listen in.
All right, same stuff, guys. I have a feeling they might go town, so we'll see it.
Let's get this show on the road.
Dead
Oh.
standard.
Okay, very quiet here. Let's drop that. And
Can we doing the
Conflict going in towards the village. Looks like Team Fusion is going to play the zero line with the T-57s. Let's look at Conflict here, aggressively driving towards Delta Village. He's going to cross light, probably already takes kill. Here he is. They're not loaded just yet. Of course, Batchat is a tier 10 medium French autoloader. Takes, I believe, what, 40 seconds to load, roughly 38, 37 maybe. And of course, now they're loaded, but they're no longer lit for each other. We see two T-57s for Team Fusion, Talad and Bachrocker setting up in A0. Meanwhile, only one remaining back-plated Mega is remaining back in the cap area here, defending Team Fusion's base. TT Jones, very aggressive, already crossing the F row.
Yeah, it looks like they've set Jones up in the middle here, and geez, you know what? Havok may try to cap fast here. I mean, stranger things have happened, right? I mean, they could just push all 5 tanks up there and go, oh, okay, we'll show you how to cap fast if you want to cap fast. I mean, it could be a dangerous move, aggressive move uh, for Havok. So I don't know that they're willing to play that game quite yet, but we'll say it's going to be interesting. And they've
TT
only
Jones
spotted the bat chat, and I don't know if it's hard to tell if the bat chat from Wreak Havok has spotted Jones or not in the middle.
TT Jones going back towards the cap here, making sure that it's clear in the city, most likely. Pulling back from the middle of the map.
Yeah, and you can almost bet that Artie Takes Skill wasn't going to drive across the middle of the field again and get crossfired by, 357s and a E100. One of the things too that I touched on at the start of this too is there's a lot of pressure on Fusion right now, just getting that sponsor and things like that. So, and again, a lot of pressure on Havok too. They want to show out, they don't want to lose, and it's coming down to a little bit of a meta game right now. And again, action as always throughout this tournament, guys, that we've seen always picks up at about the 5-minute to 3-minute mark. That's when people start to move and make their moves. Now we're seeing some aggressive movement from Fusion finally up the zero line. They're putting 257s in there behind Conflict. I think that's a great move. They've covered the cap in case of a cap fast. They're all pretty mobile enough to get back and take that out. And now Conflict, you're going to see once those 57s catch up with him, he's probably going to drive down that zero line and try and nuke anything that's there with the help from the 57s. Now let's see if they can execute it as well as Havok did at this point.
Yep, so far they're being cautious though, and that's the right thing to do. Here we go. Bad chat. Already Takes Skill is here. Let's see if they're going to jump him now, because they do have a numerical advantage here. 3-on-1 at least so far. Already Takes Skill knows that he's lit. He's pulling back behind the buildings. Conflict playing the corner game here.
Right, and Havok could have their 57s down there and think Conflict's alone and solo now, and try and jump him. But you see Talad set up looking down that zero line, ready to pounce on anything that gets lit. So they're going to leave him there. Conflict's going to say, hey, I'm here. I'm by myself. Come get me. And we'll see what happens here. It should be interesting. Conflict's going to be careful with his little track lighting, because he could get taken out. And maybe they feel like they could push the cap, they can overwhelm them in Delta Village. Now you see Talad starting to move a little bit. Not sure if that's the right call. I think I'd leave them there a little bit and let Havok kind of set up and come to them through that Delta Village. But here goes Conflict trying to get a light. He's going to check the middle road to see if they're coming. And here comes
look at this.
Sarge.
TT Jones takes a huge hit. He's down to 1478, 516. Look at this. TT Jones down to 618. Bounces a shot there, and that saves him. So, Call Me Sarge and Wreak Havok are showing up in the city. And there's the bat chat. Already Takes Skill is in the F row there. E5 there, hiding away from Conflict and Talad. Looks
Conflict
like
did take a hit there.
Oh wow, yeah, Conflict is down to 1430. It is right now as well. So looks like Wreak Havok has a slight advantage right now, hit point wise. Let's see what Conflict is doing. Conflict is running in on the already takes skill. Already takes skill, very vulnerable right now. Talid and Bakrock are focus firing him right now. He's down to
Conflict's going after him.
1,000. Yep, Conflict is going to be able to finish him off right now. 707. Missed shot there by Conflict.
Ooh, and a big Conflict step back at the right time to avoid that 57. So they've got Havok kind of trapped in that 3 line.
Conflict running towards the Havok's base. Most likely going to probably put cap pressure. Plated Mega in the meantime is getting shot up. TT Jones can't light them. There we go. Call Me Sarge is already almost at the cap circle here.
Call Me Sarge is way out of position here. They could jump on him and take him out. Maybe that's what they want.
Yep, they are pushing in. Talid, Bakrocker, and TT Jones going in on Call Me Sarge. Call Me Sarge down to 1,728 there. Talid is 1463. No, there it goes. Call Me Sarge. Call Me Sarge goes down. So far, so good for Team Fusion. Already takes skill, is down to 304 hit points there. Meanwhile, Plated Mega is actually also down to 155, one-shotable there.
Yeah, and I think that was the bat shot, wasn't it? No, it was the T-57 nailing him. The Savior from the middle? Whoa. And Conflict took some more shots there, too.
Interesting match so far. Kazo, 1351 hit points there. He's in the F-row. Looks like Team Fusion is going to be splitting up a little bit control and going into kind of a defensive posture here. Setting up and checking the 1 line, it looks like.
Yeah, and I don't understand. They have them kind of boxed in. Or, of course, that, so Box at 100%, Talid is at 65%, and Jones is 2 shots from dying from a 57. And they might use him to go in and take 2 shots from a 57 and then just blast their way through and take them out. But you can guarantee that that bat chat from Havok is reloading, and maybe Havok's going to pull back into a defensive position. Who knows?
Yep, here we go. Checking the 3 line now.
We're
Team
down
Fusion.
to 2 minutes and 28 seconds here.
Definitely, it looked like Wreak Havok lost a lot of hit points there. So perhaps hit point wise, Team Fusion is looking better. Of course, Plated Mega is one-shotable right now. And oh, here we go. The one saver gets lit. TT Jones misses a shot. One saver misses a shot. Talent makes the shot here, but one saver shooting very poorly here, not making his shots, and he's going to go down. So now, huge
Big
advantage. Team Fusion, but only 2 minutes left. They have to seize this one. TT Jones down to 285 hit points. He's one-shotable. Plated Mega one-shotable. Bakrocker and Talent looking good. Conflict, let's check how things are going for him. He's at 1,068. He's running towards the cap. He's going to put cap pressure right now.
Well, yeah, or he's going to try and light them to see if they're in a defensive position. I mean, this is going to come down to timing. This could come down to another draw if Havok wants it to. I think they can draw this out.
Nope, they're back at the base. T-57s are lit now. Kazo and PPK are lit by who? Oh, looks like from
Conflict.
the fountain.
Oh,
no.
from the fountain.
Yeah,
Okay,
Talid. There goes. Let's switch to them. Talid is in the 1 line. Look at that. Already takes skill using that J1 spot. Interesting spot. You don't see it used very often, but it's a good for advanced light on the 1 line. In the meantime, Conflict is facing off against 2 T-57s here, and he actually seems to be doing quite well.
Yeah, 54 seconds, and they're going to get that bat chat out, or at least they should. Here
Ooh.
goes...
PPK is down now. Kazo is next. He's down to 256.
And there it is.
That's a victory. 3-1. Team Fusion takes this one, and they win the challenge.
Yeah, and we saw some camp there, and it's part of the game, guys, and that's just the way it works. And I would still feel the same way, and with either team camping, we've followed teams that have camped, and we followed teams that went up against the camp. So.
Okay, let's quickly run through the damage output here. Talent, very nice game, 3908. Only 2 missed shots. 3594 for Bakrocker. 1 missed shot, 1 non-pen. 1889 Plated. Plated kind of didn't have a good time there. He was focus fired by Wreak Havok, but was left alive with 155, I believe, hit points. Conflict, 1294. Good game for him. 1 missed shot. Could have probably finished off already takes skill in that batch shot, but missed that. So a critical shot missed, but still good game for him. E100 TT Jones, 3 shots, 2 misses, but 5,080 potential damage received. Great angling by him. On Wreak Havok's side, 3,342 for the one savior, 1,149 for already takes skill, and then very little output from Call Me Sarge. Only one shot there, I think. Yeah, only one pen there for Call Me Sarge. PPK, one pen there for him as well. Kazo, only 2 shots on target. So poor shooting by Wreak Havok and perhaps poor positioning. They were kind of looks like they had a very good surprise there on Team Fusion. Jumped the E100, then had to pull back, then kind of spread out down the three and just were taken slowly but surely apart by Team Fusion. Congratulations to Team Fusion. Team Fusion takes this one 3-1, and I believe 4 draws.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
2, 3, 4 draws. Yeah.
yeah, so definitely a long one for us today, Bar. But I think we survived it, and congratulations to Team Fusion winning the Battle of Berlin Challenge. They're going to take 26,000 gold each and the bragging rights for this one. Wreak Havok won well, very well performed on this tournament. I thought they had a few games there. One of them slipped away from them. It would have been 2-2, perhaps a completely different story should that have happened. But anyways, heads off for them. They take the second place. Let's quickly take a look at our brackets here and see if we know our third place winner. Yeah, third place, Simp takes the win against Hammer Time 3-1. So it's Team Fusion first place, Wreak Havok second place, and Simp third place. Simp takes home 8,000 gold per player. Also not a bad prize there for third place. And of course, fourth place, 4,000, and then it goes down to 1,600 and 300 gold. We see a lot of tournaments paying off more places now than before. It used to be only just 3 places. But anyways, Team Fusion takes this one. Do you want to do a post battle there?
Yeah, let's just I'm gonna just dump in the pluses and let's just jump in there and see what we can see if we can get talk to these guys. Here we go.
Okay.
Hello, gents.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on your win. Very long night for you guys, for us, for everybody watching. Um, Talk us through the first couple of matches and some of the stuff that went on there. There's a lot of camper hating comments going back and forth there, and some in the stream chat as well. So talk us through what you guys were thinking and how if things played out the way that you thought they were going to.
Uh, they certainly did not. I got to say that we excellent play by Havoc there. Just props to those guys. They made that exceptionally difficult to win. Um, One of the things that those guys did was really do a great job taking out the bat, which you know they had a couple different looks at it. We kind of left them out to dry a bit. Just excellent job on their part. Having said that, that forced us into a very uncomfortable defensive position way more often than we wanted to find ourselves in. Camping that hard and that often, not typically something that we do on occasion and really when we're forced to. And unfortunately, we really caught ourselves or forced ourselves to do that by getting that back killed on really more occasions than I think we did the rest of the tournament probably combined. So props to those guys. They really forced us into a very uncomfortable spot.
Yeah, following you guys early on, I mean, I was wondering. I mean, you guys really didn't camp that much. When I think we saw you camp once against Kozaks in the group stages, only because you guys got caught. You caught them coming down the 5 line. But other than that, I mean, you'd set up, you'd wait, and then you'd just start pushing. We saw you guys be aggressive in a lot of there, so it was interesting seeing you guys getting taken out of your element and turtled up. So props to you guys for kind of recognizing that and overcoming it. So yeah.
Yeah, I had a quick question. And you guys got one win there with a cap out strategy. Was that the way you were going with hiding conflict there with with the E100s boxing in, or was that just kind of a rush goal because you saw that nothing was there?
No, that was exactly what we were going for. Typically, we try to, one of our, curveballs, we try to get a cap fast, if you will. If we find the other team is overcommitting or they're doing the same thing over and over, which, um, you know, even though we kept losing the bat, they were committing field very, very often and getting out of position a bit. So we try to take advantage of that. Um, we pushed the cap, we properly hid our bat, and forced them to come in. And from experience, we found out that if you're far out of position on that side, you're just not going to get back in time. We did try to cap earlier, had a couple of bad moves. Great shot by the 100 to hit our bat. So we figured, all right, well, we didn't get it the first time. Let's give it one more go on the other side.
What did you guys think about that one game where it drew tense, like right as you guys were going down? That was a really close game. Looked like Wreak Havoc was in control, and that timer ran out. Was that a relief for you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were, like I said, there's a couple of games we were exceptionally uncomfortable. Losing the bat, losing our eyes, having to kind of compress back into a more defensive position, not typically how we prefer to play it. If we find ourselves in that position, usually things are not going the way we would like them to go. So certainly was a relief. We did our best to keep our clips up, keep those guys at bay as long as possible, play the angles, and just delay it. Typically those encounters also happen with not a lot of time left on the clock. So clock management is a big thing in that case, and we just got lucky a few times.
Well, we as always, guys. We really appreciate you letting us cast you. I know I had I had to pull your teeth a little bit here and get you guys to agree to a couple of them because it seemed like through the group stages there was like 10 or 12 matches or something silly like that we followed you guys through, and then we casted you again and then again and then again, so people got to see how you played, study how you played. And do you guys think that came into it a little bit? Or I mean, I don't know, I would think as a
Um,
caller.
I just from my perspective as the batch chat driver, it's obvious that teams are watching our streams because they would make the most amazing efforts to take our batch chat out every game. Like that was their goal, was to kill the bat chat and then go from there because they knew where I was sitting. Yeah, I remember one game, it was a really sweet move that Havoc pulled. They sent the bat just full YOLO down to zero, and his job was just to light me for a 57 to knock me off. That's exactly what happened. It was a great move. And you can definitely tell that people are being made aware of what we're doing. So it's definitely hard to combat that.
Yeah, and again, we really appreciate it. I mean, we want to encourage other teams, and Wargaming in the future has talked about um, implementing something into when you sign up for a tournament, you're also signing up to be live casted at any time. So I think it's just North America's not used to it. Overseas, the European server and the Russian server are just so used to it. They don't even care. They don't play the metagame. They don't care. It seemed like you guys didn't really care about it too much when I talked with you. So good on you for overcoming that. And Havoc is no joke, man. That was a great team. I mean, they really, really put you guys to the test, and could have easily taken that from you. So I do appreciate that. You guys got any shout outs or anything like that you want to go through and to wrap this up?
Yeah, I'd like to, just give props to our other teammates here that didn't get a chance to play as much on this one. Swollen, Talad, well, Talad got to play. Nem, Bar, of course, Chevelle. Thanks guys for supporting us in this one. Props to the other teams all throughout the tournament. This was excellent competition. And again, thank you for you guys casting this thing. I know this was a tough thing for you guys to find victims sometimes to cast, but hopefully everybody gets on board with it. We certainly enjoy it, and we appreciate the effort.
All right, thanks a lot, guys, and congratulations on winning Battle of Berlin challenge here this month. Congrats, guys, and we're going off TeamSpeak, going back to the summary here, right, Bar?
Hey, just a quick announcement.
Oh,
We are going to be heading over to Mop 4 Twitch. If you guys want to come over, we're gonna have some prizes, some gold codes, some swag to give out. So please come on over, and we'll be at mop4_watt Twitch.
After the summary, of course.
Of course.
All right, guys, again, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Congratulations on your sponsorship. Congratulations on winning the Berlin Challenge. I know it was a long challenge, and we do appreciate it.
Okay, Bar. Off team speak now. So, great
So
long.
here we are, Soviet. Here we are.
A great long journey comes to an end. Battle of Berlin. We now know our top three teams: Team Fusion, Wreak Havok, and Simp. Congratulations to all of them. Bar is drinking the
I'm
victory
tired,
drink.
Soviet. You and I have been, I want to give props to you, and I know I did it in a private message to you, but guys, I've been watching these back. Soviet absolutely dominating the camera work through some of this, trying to keep it interesting for you guys. I mean, he's never used a spectator account, neither have I. So there was a little bit of learning there. And as you can see throughout this, Soviet just knocked it out of the park with his camera movements. I mean, some of the sweeping views that he gives, I can't say enough, Soviet. Unbelievable. Really good job. And it's been a pleasure. I think our synergy is great, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. Maybe we'll take a little break for just a bit here to kind of wrap our brain around what we've done here, and gather how we can make it better, what we can do in the future. Wargaming can buy us a studio, Soviet and DC, and we can go set up shop outside the White House, and
Yeah, some
have fun.
tanks. Have the president playing World of Tanks on his breaks. Definitely. And I agree. I mean, this, especially today, that was a long fight, but still, it was kind of a joy to observe this. I can only, relate as a player how intense those matches are. As a player, though, they go by so quick. Every second, like 10 minutes may seem long to our viewers, but in the game, that 10 minutes has gone so fast when you're the player. Thank you a lot for the camera work compliment. I tried, as these progressed, I definitely got the hang of it a little bit better, and I look forward to the tools that are coming our way that Wargaming has promised us. Perhaps in July or something, we'll get better tools to do this more often and in higher quality. Hopefully, our viewers enjoyed the production, enjoyed this live cast. If you guys have some friends that would want to watch this, please let them know that these videos will be available on YouTube, and you'll be able to find them at any time and watch them with your friends. We definitely want World of Tanks to become more popular and more widespread here in North America. Team Fusion, what a team!
Yeah, I mean, pulling off the win, you could hear them. They actually sounded a little bit more defeated than anything, where they got taken out of their game and had to turtle up there. So you could hear it in Bach's
Coached
voice
by
that
Stone
he's
19
like,
Delta.
oh, we kind of got taken out and had to do Havoc. We just weren't expecting what they were going to do, and they got them the leg up on us early on a lot of those games and forced us to turtle. So they recognized it, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't like it, but it is part of high-end tournaments. It happens a lot. It happens in Clan Wars a lot too. So.
Alrighty, let's wrap this one up. It's been a pleasure, guys. A long journey, and now it's over. Team Fusion takes this one. It was Kirill, Soviet Bondar here, and Ed, Barum Leonard, and we're signing off for the night. Have a good night, play some tanks, and good luck with your RNG rolls. Take care, guys.
Take care.